Hey everyone, happy Friday. It's Friday. That song always sticks in my brain. I can never get it out. Every time I see it's Friday, I'm like, "Oh, Rebecca Black, where did you go?" You know what? As much as like a bad rap she got, she really gave us all the greatest gift of just reminding us that it's Friday. So anyways, happy Friday everyone. Hope you're doing really well. Hey, I wanted to pop on here and just remind you guys about the episode that Rory and I did this week. It's all about how to start your passion business. And we are really just kind of on fire for this episode, especially given like the timing, given everything that's happening in our world. We've got COVID, we've got the election. That's kind of like what's happening. There's so much happening. We don't know who's going to win. We're like 4 days after the point. What's going to happen? And it really just all comes down to thinking about ourselves as individuals, right? And even though there's like a great bigger picture outside of our world, there's also something very unique about being able to control what we do as individuals. And so in this week's episode, we talk a lot about so how to get started in your passion business and the 3 best low-cost ways to start your business, advice for what happens during that crossroad. Hi, Rory. Thanks for joining
Hello.
me. Hi. Go ahead and let's see here. Yeah, we're muted. Perfect. Okay. In this episode for this week, we also talk about the formula to determining when to leave your day job. So for those of you that are actually thinking like, I don't know, it's pretty cush right now. I've got, 401k, I've got retirement going on. We talk about all of that in this episode to determine if it's even the right time for you to leave your day job and start your passion business. And we also talk about how to hold yourself accountable in your new business, which is a very big part about being an entrepreneur, being a leader, being a business owner. Accountability is key. So if you haven't had an opportunity to check out this week's episode, highly recommend you do it. It's available wherever you listen to your own podcasts, but you can also get it at bpbpodcast.com. So be sure to check that out. But for this Friday weekly wrap up, Rory has joined me. Hi, Rory.
Hello.
And we received some really awesome questions this week. I put it out on Instagram and I said, hey, if you've got business questions, let us know. We're here to answer them. And one of the very first questions that we received kind of hit home for both of us because it's something we're currently dealing with. And so we thought this is fitting. Let's go ahead and answer this. And so the question is, let me get my notes here. Okay. The question is, how do you deal when there's so many different choices or things or possibility for direction to go in your business? Like, what do you do when there's just so many different options? So, Rory, I'm going to pass this to you. I'm going to let you answer this one.
All right. Well, yeah, like you said, we're dealing with this with the podcast
Yeah,
currently.
we really
Um,
are. Yeah.
we're doing a lot with the podcast, and there's always just more things that we could be doing, and there's more social media things, there's more marketing things, there's
Mhm.
more promotions, there's all these things, and it's like, well, it starts to get to the point where it becomes overwhelming, and you start going, okay, well, how am I going to deal with all this? I can't do all of this, and you're getting this constant um, like voice from all the marketers out there who go, you need to do this. Oh, this is the next best thing to be focused on. And pretty soon you've got a list of 1,000 things that you think you should be doing to grow your business. And
Mhm.
there's just no way to do all of it. So it reminds me of a quote by Warren Buffett. I don't know the exact quote, but basically what he talks about is that you should list out 20 things that are really important to you,
Mhm.
and then circle 3 of them, and don't just like circle the 3 most important ones, but don't just take the rest of them and say, oh, I'm going to get to those later. Just absolutely throw all of those out
Hmm.
and only focus on those 3 important things.
Hmm.
And when you do that, it allows your brain, it allows your business to open up, and so you can focus more. So we actually have a meeting this weekend to do that with the podcast and decide, what it is that we want to focus on. And we'd also love to hear from you as well. If you have some things that you really enjoy from us, we don't want to do this in a vacuum and say, oh, we're making all the choices about what we're going to put out. If there's stuff that's really important to you that you want to see from us, let us know, in the comments, or, message us through the website, bpbpodcast.com, and let us know.
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought that up, Rory, because you're exactly right. Like, again, we love doing our podcast, but it's also for all of you guys. It's the knowledge that we have accumulated over the years so that we can share it with all of you. So if there's something very specific that you would like to learn, or something that is unanswered, we're here. Like, we're here to answer all of that. So, and we're not just making it up as we go, right? Like, we really want to make sure we're providing like the best possible value for you guys. So yeah, like Rory said, we're going to have a meeting this weekend to go over like the fine details. And so it's important to remember that you can in fact change your business as time goes on. You don't have to keep slugging through or doing certain things where you might think, well, maybe that's not the best possible value, or, well, maybe let's go ahead and ask our followers, ask our listeners and viewers, what do you guys want, right? When in doubt, ask your people, because they will tell you exactly what they want. So be sure to listen to that. We received 2 other questions, which I thought was really fun. And the first one is, I'm going to ask you, Rory, like, and again, we can keep this as short or small, short and large as you want, but what made you decide to become an entrepreneur? Like a quick snippet.
For me, it was anxiety around having to go to a job.
Wow,
Yeah, like
that's honest.
yeah. No, like I started having panic attacks every time I started trying to get jobs. And I was
Wow.
like, I can't do this. This isn't who I am. And I was just very fortunate to grow up in a household where my grandparents were entrepreneurs, and I saw that that was a possibility.
Hmm. Wow, that's really powerful. I'm sure there's a lot of other people who feel the same way. Yeah. Just born out of sheer anxiety. We're like, yep, changing gears. For myself, I have a pretty significant learning disability, and I was always told that I was stupid and I couldn't do it. And I knew, screw that. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be my own boss. I'm going to go for it. And yeah, so just out of sheer for lack of a better phrase, kind of middle finger to a lot of people who just didn't believe in me, I was like, I'm going to do this. And I did it. Yeah. And so here we are. And if you guys want like a more in-depth explanation of how Rory and I really like got to be where we are in this next episode that we're going to talk about next week, we will explain our own stories. So, or I guess is it in 2 weeks? I'm sorry, 2 weeks. Yeah, in 2 weeks. Yeah. Well, we're going to be explaining our own stories. That's episode 15. So be sure to look out for that too. But the second question is, how do you cancel out the noise with so much happening today? How do you cancel out outside noise, and how do you just focus on what's right in front of you?
Well, I think that kind of goes back to what we were originally talking about in the first question, is that you've got to be focused.
Yeah.
And when you have focus about what you're doing, it's a lot easier to not get distracted. You're always going to have stuff coming at you, but then you've got to set up systems that allow you in your life to not have those distractions. So
Absolutely.
everyone's got their thing that distracts them more so than another thing, right? Sometimes it's Facebook, sometimes it's Instagram, sometimes it's YouTube, sometimes
Whatever
it's
it
Netflix,
is.
whatever it is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And if that's the distraction for you, or the thing that sucks you in, well, you have to be the one that puts a limit on it, and that's a somewhat hard to do. I know psychologically, that stuff it's designed to take over your brain in a way that we don't always have the willpower to block, right? So you have to be the one that set up those things, turn the notifications off on your phone, or turn your phone off, if you have
Take a
issues,
break.
where you suddenly end up on YouTube watching videos, then
For hours.
maybe you need to turn the internet off on your computer and only
Yeah.
focus on working in a Word doc or something like that. Whatever it is that is going on for you, you have to be the one that sets that up, because no one else is going to do it for you. There's not
That's the truth.
you don't have a bot sitting there that's going, oh, you're not doing your work. And if you don't do your work, you're getting fired.
Yeah, exactly. So you need to be accountable for yourself. And we talk about that so much in this entire podcast. So you
Yeah.
guys, with that, we want to let you know to come back next week and we're going to be talking about how to get clients for free. Yay! One of my
Yay.
favorite topics. All right, that's it for this week, you guys. Happy weekend, happy Friday, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.